BMW presents the 7th generation of its 5 Series. The business class bestseller has various new developments to offer. Its aerodynamics have been enhanced, and that means more power with lower fuel consumption. And what customer wouldn't like that? We test drove the 540i with a sizable 3-liter engine.
The core of the brand in many respects is the 5 Series and the 3 Series. And of course, the 5 Series has got great history. Back from 1972, or dare I say 44 years ago, this car really did create a segment that has become synonymous with the core of BMW. You see the brand being shaped from the top, 7 Series, the i8, but if you asked a lot of customers, they see this car as one which really stands for everything BMW is positioned for.
It's an icon with plenty of power. The standard 6-cylinder engine produces 250 kilowatts for a top speed of 250 kilometers an hour. The new model sprints from 0 to 100 in 5.1 seconds. Prices start at 57,700 euros in Germany. Rear-wheel drive makes this agile car live up to BMW's slogan, the ultimate driving machine. As car reviewer Mattes points out, the German mid-class sedan segment includes the BMW 5 Series, the Audi A6, and the Mercedes E-Class. The BMW has always been regarded as the sportiest of the 3 brands. With this standard-fitted drive mode switch, Mattes can choose between sport and comfort. And if the car has the optionally available adaptive suspension, the sport mode gives you a stiffer ride, so you can take curves extremely fast.
Gehe, und dann kann man dieses Auto wirklich richtig schnell die Kurven bewegen.
Visually, the 5 Series looks like its big brother, the 7 Series. That's due to the kidney grills in front, which join up with the headlights and give the 5 Series a much broader look. The M Sport package, costing an additional 4,600 euros, comprises a range of technical and styling extras. Tomaso Dukek, head of BMW's exterior design division, explains the changes to the 5 Series front. The hood now fits directly onto the upper edge of the kidney grills and headlights. It's a manifestation of greater precision and attention to detail, with the kidneys being curved. The twin grills, a trademark of every BMW, have been made noticeably larger, and BMW has revived its old connection between the grills and the headlights, which makes the car look broader. Early BMWs also had the grills and headlights in one connected strip.
Von der Niere und Leuchten verbunden, und das haben wir hier auch bei dem Auto wieder geschafft.
High class and high performance. The interior features quality materials. The interior has changed a lot from the predecessor. It's now more dynamic and less cluttered. The Bowers & Wilkins surround sound system has 1,400 watts of power, with 16 loudspeakers, transforming the 5 Series into a concert hall on wheels. Mattes points out another feature he loves in this car. When you activate the parking sensors, you first get the bird's eye view camera, which you can find in many models these days. But you can also adjust the view to get the image of the car from any perspective. Mattes can size up the parking spot and see whether he can open the doors wide enough. Wow. Matas sums up his impressions. The BMW 5 Series is a beautiful vehicle, but beauty comes at a price. And so this car will probably first serve as a leased company car. When it's done that for 3 years, a regular car buyer will be able to afford it used. Many people in Europe associate Mitsubishi with either cheap small cars or robust SUVs. We're taking one of its crossover models out for a spin. The Outlander explains our carman Sasha is one of the most popular SUVs in the world. In Germany, it's still just a niche product, but the 2017 edition could change that. In Europe, the Outlander comes with a choice of 2 engines, a 2.2-liter diesel and a 2-liter gasoline unit. Both are available with optional all-wheel drive. Sasha is driving the diesel version with all-wheel drive. His first impression is that while this vehicle will get you through thick and thin, it won't do it very quickly. It's slowed down by its weight, and the top equipment line with all-wheel drive some 117 kilos more than the entry version with front-wheel drive. The diesel edition needs 11.6 seconds to make the dash to 100 kilometers an hour. Top speed with a 6-speed automatic transmission is just less than an overwhelming 190 kilometers per hour. Our test car is fitted with adaptive all-wheel drive. In eco mode, the one axle is deployed almost exclusively. This does theoretically allow you to meet the manufacturer's official fuel economy rating of 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers. All-wheel drive only kicks in when the wheels start to slip. The most outstanding change for Sasha, the one that no longer stands out, is that the rear antenna has been replaced by this little shark fin. The car is now a bit more streamlined. One change Sasha would like to make, and it's the same with most car makers, is the unbearably slow-opening trunk lid. In winter, you really wish it would open a bit faster, but once you've folded down all 5 rear seats, you have a flat cargo platform and a total volume of 1,613 liters, and that's nothing to sneeze at. The third row of seats is only available with the diesel edition. Gasoline engine buyers will have to make do with 5 seats. Sasha appreciates the legroom in the back, but not the headroom. Even with his short hair, he's touching the roof lining. And he's worried about getting it dirty because he has a bit of gel in his hair. Sasha would have preferred this little bulge here further forward so that he would sit more comfortably. That bulge and the restricted headroom are due to the glass sunroof. The cabin is nice and spacious and uncluttered. There are new piano black accents, although your fingerprints show up everywhere. The cup holder is now hidden away under a special cover. But the most important new feature in the Outlander has to be the safety package, available for an extra 1,400 euros. It includes a blind spot alert. That also warns the driver of rear cross traffic when leaving a parking space. It's especially useful in the city, not least because of all those cyclists racing around. Insulated windows help to keep out noise. The diesel engine does get a bit loud, says Sasha. That's primarily due to the automatic transmission, which is pretty harmonious, but sometimes isn't sure what to do, so the engine revs higher than necessary.
Zudem kostet es 2.000 Euro.
At the same time, it costs 2,000 euros extra and comes without an automatic start-stop, something that Sasha can't quite comprehend. All in all, the Mitsubishi Outlander is a solid enough vehicle. Having all-wheel drive available is a big benefit in the winter or in the mountains. Plus, you have a lot of space for the whole family and cargo. Its real strength is its price advantage over German car makers, even if the workmanship loses a couple of points here and there. But that's it. The Golf 7 gets an update. The outgoing 1.4-liter TSI is being replaced with a 1.5-liter TSI Evo. The manufacturer claims a fuel saving of up to 0.3 liters per 100 kilometers. LED lights exceed the old xenon headlights. An optional 9.2-inch touch display has a gesture control feature and a configurable home screen. The asking price in Germany just under 18,000 euros. Toyota presents the new generation of the Prius plug-in hybrid. Technically, it's been given a major makeover compared with the regular edition. The hybrid comes with a 1.8-liter gasoline engine combined with 2 electric motors. The front and rear design see considerable changes, and not just because of the socket. The aim is to give the model greater individuality. Prices in Germany start at just over 37,500 euros.
Hyundai hat es geschafft.
Car tester Andre congratulates Hyundai for capturing a younger than average customer base in Germany. Now he's going to try to find out how they did it by test driving the new i30. The car buyer's average age has been steadily rising for over 20 years now, but Hyundai has bucked the trend. Its customers are 2 years younger than the German average, making it the envy of big rivals such as Toyota, Opel, and VW. One of Hyundai's main selling points for the i30 is a starting price of 17,450 euros. Although you get the engine you pay for, just 74 kilowatts of power. In addition to the basic model's 1.4-liter aspirated engine, Hyundai offers 2 modern turbocharged gasoline units and 1 diesel. He's testing the 1.4-liter TGDI. What he finds especially praiseworthy is that even though it's a 1.4-liter engine with a turbocharger attached, it's actually lighter than the aspirated engine the same size. The most powerful engine with 103 kilowatts still comes up a bit short compared to similar models. German and other manufacturers offer engines with quite a bit more power. But Hyundai's already gearing up for the challenge. Hyundai's Markus Schlick says the i30 is the first model to get the N-Series high-performance engine. The basic version will put out 250 horsepower, with a module available to take it up to 275. Another version is planned for 2018 that achieves 300 horsepower. Taking a Hyundai on the road will be an emotional experience. The design is likewise big on emotion, with the styling providing the car's primary appeal. For Andre, the i30's exterior design cuts a decent figure. He especially likes the way the wider, sloping front gives it such a dynamic look. 12 body colors leave choice enough for any individual touch. The Korean brand is the only car maker to produce its own steel. The proportion of high tensile steels has been increased to 53% in the interest of safety and driving dynamics. Inside, the i30 could easily hold its own with a VW Golf. The cargo area holds just about 400 liters with the rear seats folded up. At present, the i30 is a safe investment for value-conscious buyers, and made even safer by a 5-year guarantee with unlimited mileage.
Der Hyundai i30
Hyundai points out that the Hyundai i30 offers a great many driver's assist systems, many of them standard equipment where other car makers would only offer them at additional cost. There are the lane keeping assist and the active city brake. Other comforts that are standard include cruise control and air conditioning.
Features serienmäßig, wie zum Beispiel den Tempomaten oder die Klimaanlage.
The top-line equipment package with the new 103-kilowatt gasoline engine and 7-speed dual-clutch transmission lists at 28,350 euros in Germany, about what you'd pay for a similarly equipped VW Golf, but without the generous guarantee. Hyundai concedes there are many factors that work together to make Hyundai appealing to both older and younger car buyers, but first among them is the price. The entry model i30 starts at 17,450 euros in Germany, while the top-range version comes closer to 30,000. In the end, cars that are popular with the older buyers are quite often just too expensive for the younger set. Car tester Reinhold Deisenhofer asks, why wait to go electric when you can do it now? We'll have to wait till 2020 for the VW ID, now a concept car, and even longer for the Buzz electric VW bus. But we generally don't need 400 kilometers range. Maybe less will do nicely, so today we'll be testing the plug-in hybrid, the VW Passat GTE. The Passat GTE has two power plants, a 1.4-liter gasoline engine and an electric motor for a total system capacity of 160 kilowatts and a maximum torque of 400 Newton meters. 4 driving modes make the Passat energy efficient, sporty, or in between. Reinhold explains that the GTE always starts on electric drive, so it doesn't wake the neighbors. And it can glide, meaning the engine uncouples from the transmission so that the car can coast down the highway, for example, without using any electricity. VW rates average fuel consumption at 1.8 liters for 100 kilometers. That figures in the distance covered on electric drive. With both powertrains working together, the GTE accelerates from 0 to 100 in 7.4 seconds, reaching a maximum speed of 225 kilometers per hour. The plug-in hybrid Passat requires deep pockets. The sedan lists for 44,250 euros in Germany. The station wagon for 1,000 more. That puts it at the upper end of the Passat range alongside the most powerful, fully equipped versions. The interior makes no compromises. Everything we've come to expect of a Passat. Reinhold points out that the GTE ranges 40 to 50 kilometers on a fully charged battery. It may not sound like much, but it's more than enough for 80% of daily driving. A normal European 220-volt household outlet fully recharges the battery in about 4 hours. According to VW, the conventional gasoline engine combined with electric drive makes for a total range of some 1,100 kilometers. So it's no disaster if you can't find the time to recharge now and then. But the straightforward charging process quickly becomes a habit and takes optimal advantage of the electric drive technology. Summing up, Reinhold says the Passat GTE means the future is now. He can use it to commute to work on electric drive only, but he still has to haul 2 powertrains around, the gasoline engine and the electric motor, and it comes at a price. Even so, this plug-in hybrid says, I'm moving toward the future. Open the throttle. Our test rider Christoph Bauer is negotiating the mountain passes in northern Italy's Trentino region. He's riding a vintage 1930 DKW Super Sport 600. Christoph says the DKW has a long tradition of making quality motorcycles. In 1919, they built the first auxiliary motor for a two-wheeled vehicle. Some referred to it as a butt warmer. Over the next decade, DKW grew into one of the world's largest manufacturers of motorcycles. And this Supersport is the firm's crowning achievement. It's designed for long hauls at top speed. Hee-haw! The engine makes a distinctive chatter. It's actually a two-stroke motor with 600 cc's of displacement. This is the biggest and baddest cycle that DKW ever built. Christoph says that at the beginning of the 1930s, the DKW Supersport was the fastest bike around, 22 horsepower and a top speed of 100 kilometers per hour, with a sidecar. But the sidecar could take some getting used to. If you went into a fast curve on the left, it could lift off. So you had to keep calm and not try to steer too hard against it. Otherwise, you'd end up in the opposite lane. And if you went too fast into a curve on the right, the cycle itself could flip over the nose of the sidecar. Christoph says that there was nothing else like the DKW Supersport on the road at that time. Modern bikes are lighter and more refined. Everything, from the chrome radiator to the two mufflers, is solid. It weighs 170 kilos all on its own. But since it's so powerful and rugged, it's perfect for use with a sidecar. So 170 kilos by itself and 240 with the sidecar. Wow.
Wow.
Two-stroke engines, like the one in the Supersport 600, tend to overheat. That's where the bike's radiator comes in. The chrome-plated streamlined gas tank holds 14 liters. That's enough to travel about 200 kilometers, even at high speeds. The sturdy tubular steel frame is perfectly suited for use with a sidecar. Advertisements from that period described the 600 as the greatest motorcycle of its kind. The 600's 3-speed clutch and fish fin exhaust system were pretty modern for the time. The bike could hit a top speed of 130 kilometers per hour without the sidecar. Christoph says that the DKW's two-stroke engine had a lot of power for a 1930s motorcycle, 22 horsepower. That doesn't sound like much today, but that 600cc displacement, water-cooled engine, and flat piston crowns were top-of-the-line features back then. DKW also used some of this technology in the top-selling small car of that period, the F1. It was the first German car with front-wheel drive. There was even a DKW aircraft.
Flugzeug wurde mit dieser Turbine betrieben. Hut ab.
In German, DKW stands for Steam-Powered Vehicle. The company started out building accessories for steam engines. But by 1930, DKW was building 60,000 motorcycles a year. Christoph points out that this model is the rarest DKW bike of all. Only 300 of them were built. In 1930, Germany was in the middle of the Great Depression, and few people could afford luxuries like motorcycles. A Supersport 600 cost about the same as a small car, like the Opel P4. Production of the 600 was canceled in 1933 after just 3 years. Christoph says it's a real shame.
1933, nach nur 3 Baujahren wieder eingestellt. Schluss mit der Supersport 600. Ja, mal schade.
In 1934, DKW motorcycles started using reverse scavenging exhaust technology in all their engines. This allowed better engine performance and improved fuel efficiency. Christoph says the DKW Supersport 600 is a bike for real men, big, powerful, and built like a tank. If you took a machine like this on the road in the early 1930s, you were in for a real adventure, and the 600's engine served as the model for the one used in the first German passenger car with front-wheel drive, the DKW F1. Up until the 1950s, they hardly changed the design of that car, so you can say that the DKW Supersport 600 was definitely a milestone in German automotive history.
Der Fahrzeuggeschichte.
Fans of the Supersport 600 refer to it today with great reverence as the Cadillac of motorcycles, and perhaps the most exciting DKW vehicle ever built.